Step right up, folks. We've got a paternity puzzle that's more complicated than a Rubik's Cube on a roller coaster.
At a bus station when I was coming from Chicago to Arkansas.
Miss Whitman's here, and she's got a 4-month-old baby named Michaela. But guess what? It's a good old-fashioned game of who's the daddy. Miss Whitman's tale of love and confusion unfolds like a Shakespearean drama. She was dating Mr. Mapson, but then she smelled the faint whiff of infidelity and suddenly, like a superhero in a romantic crisis, entered Mr. Anderson. She hops into the love boat with him. But wait, they weren't even sailing in a committed relationship sea. Nope, it was more like a Love Boat episode with unexpected guests. Now, when baby Michaela pops out, it's like a game of musical chairs. Who's the lucky dad? Miss Whitman's like, oops, I had unprotected fun with both of them. Ah, the classic plot twist. Mr. Anderson, our amateur detective, starts throwing shade like a pro. He's all like, I saw a mystery man living at her place for weeks. But Miss Whitman, the queen of denials, says it was just one of his cousins. Yep, because cousins are basically invisible, right?
Did your cousin tell you that he slept with her?
Miss Whitman secretly hopes Michaela belongs to Mr. Mapson, the guy she's head over heels for. Meanwhile, Mr. Anderson's drowning in a sea of paternity pain, losing his girlfriend and suffering through difficult circumstances. Someone get this man a lifeboat.
This situation has affected my life, you know.
Then in comes Mr. Mapson, the long-distance lover, with his I have no clue about other guys story. But hey, he's bonded with Michaela, and the family's given their stamp of approval because apparently she's got a Mapson-esque resemblance.
Birth with her?
At first, my intentions was to show up at the hospital.
Mr. Anderson did a cameo at the hospital during the baby's debut, but didn't stick around for the sequel. Mr. Mapson's like, if it's mine, I'm all in, and I'll even throw a wedding into the mix. Now the judge plays detective and asks, could there be another player on the field? And bingo, Miss Whitman finally confesses about a guy who crashed at her place for a week. But hey, it was a platonic sleepover, she swears. Sure, we believe you.
Courtroom previously, you said a man was not staying there with you for a week.
But we were not.
The judge, smelling something fishier than a seafood market, cuts to the chase and reveals the DNA results. Drum roll, please. Mr. Anderson's not the dad, but Mr. Mapson is. Cue the congratulations and the romantic reconciliation. It's a love story with more twists and turns than a telenovela, folks. Paternity Court, where the drama never takes a nap.
Mr. Mapson, you are her father.
Meet Mr. Hodges, joined by his ever-watchful mom, Miss Belvins, on a mission to unravel the enigma of little Lillian Willard's parentage. Why? Well, they seem to have some rather serious doubts about Miss Willard's commitment to monogamy. Shocking, right?
I didn't tell him because I knew he'd flip out.
But hold on to your hats, because the accusations keep piling up. They even claim Miss Willard had a secret house guest while she was engaged to Mr. Hodges. Oh, the scandal. I can just picture Miss Willard orchestrating a covert operation of men sneaking in and out of her home. Smooth moves indeed.
In between and broke up for good October 6, 2017.
And that's not all, folks. Turns out Miss Willard was not just engaged, but also married, while keeping Mr. Hodges and his mom blissfully unaware. What a cunning little secret she had going on. Oh, and did I mention she conveniently forgot to mention her other kids? Who needs full disclosure in a relationship anyway?
You felt like this is Mr. Hodges' baby.
Miss Belvins, our resident detective, spills the beans about catching Miss Willard red-handed, hiding her phone whenever Mr. Hodges was around. Classic phone hide-and-seek move. Practically a confession, right? And as if that weren't enough, Miss Willard receives messages from a guy she was dating, who conveniently happened to be present during Lillian's grand entrance into the world. Talk about multitasking.
You love Mr. Hodges, but it's not just about wanting to be a family with him.
But wait, there's a twist. Mr. Hodges drops a bombshell. Miss Willard pretended to be pregnant even after giving birth. Oh, the lengths some people go to for attention. But Miss Willard has an excuse, of course. She claims it was all because she was too busy with the other guy. Well, at least she's got her priorities straight.
Text messages that indicate you were lying about the time frame.
These episodes are packed with stories of DNA drama, deceit, and surprise twists that leave us all on the edge of our seats. What are your thoughts on these mind-boggling turn of events? Share your comments below and let us in on your reactions. The judge finally demands some honesty from Miss Willard. It's about time. Why prolong the inevitable, right? And lo and behold, she spills the beans. Apparently, all she ever wanted was a family with Mr. Hodges, but she didn't want to wreck his marriage. How considerate! And in a surprising turn of events, Mr. Hodges, the married man with a heart of gold, declares that he still wants the baby to be his. What a noble gesture! Even Miss Belvins, the ever-loving grandma, is willing to accept the child as long as they figure out who the real daddy is. Aww, talk about family values.
Your Honor, I want to say I don't want no hard feelings with Christina.
Drum roll, please. The moment we've all been waiting for has arrived. The results are in. Brace yourselves for the grand reveal. And guess what? Baby Lillian is indeed Mr. Hodges' biological daughter. Well, it looks like the mystery is finally solved. Prove that Mr. Hodges is the father of her son, Rylan. The twist? Their families have been one big happy Brady bunch for the past 2 decades, and nobody has a clue that they were getting up to some hanky-panky because, well, they were practically siblings. Oh, the drama thickens.
More than $2,500 in payments for a child who is not yours.
Yes, Your Honor.
But hold the phone. Mr. Hodges can't wiggle out of this one. He finally fesses up to their secret romance, but slams the door on being the dad. Classic move, Mr. Hodges. He's got his finger pointed straight at Miss Walters, accusing her of cozying up to another guy. It's a love triangle turned sour. And wait, there's more. Mr. Hodges took a brief vacation in the slammer because he couldn't quite cough up that child support. Smooth moves, buddy.
She breaks down on the floor crying because she finds out she's pregnant.
But oh dear, Mr. Hodges' mommy is far from thrilled. Once upon a time, they were one big happy family, frolicking on vacations and trips together. Now it's all gone down the drain thanks to this paternity conundrum. Enter Mr. Hodges' sister, who happens to be Miss Walters' bestie. She spills the beans and confirms the steamy romance between the two. But hold on, there's another guy in the mix. Looks like Mr. Hodges might have some competition in the potential baby daddy race.
I honestly believed it was not mine, Your Honor. And Your Honor, we live in a small town like...
Hold your horses, folks. Miss Walters isn't finished with her bombshells. She drops a truth bomb, revealing that Mr. Hodges already has a 4-year-old son from a previous relationship. So that explains his hesitation to step up to the plate. Miss Walters insists she took precautions with the other guy, so there's no way Mr. Hodges isn't the father. It's a tangled web of love and protection.
This is my family. They were never supposed to have sexual contact at all.
And now the moment we've all been waiting for. The results are in. Drum roll, please. Surprise, surprise, the child is indeed Mr. Hodges' offspring. Cue the emotional family reunion, complete with a side of regret for not being there for the little one sooner. But hey, better late than never, right? They're ready to embrace the child and become a full-time family. What a heartwarming ending to this wild paternity saga.
Mr. Rogers, you are his father.
So there you have it, ladies and gents. A courtroom drama that's got more twists than a roller coaster and enough surprises to keep the most avid soap opera fan glued to their seats. Buckle up, because we're in for a ride of plot twists and turns that would make Agatha Christie proud.